You guys, this place is amazing. We can't wait to show you everything.
Hi everyone, I'm Steven.
And I'm Elaine, and we're from S&E Adventures. We're super excited for part one of a two-part series. First, we're gonna be sipping our way through the Edgefield Winery, where we are now. And second, we're gonna be heading to the Grand Lodge to unwind and relax.
But more on the Grand Lodge later. We want to tell you about Edgefield Winery. Let's go.
So this is the Ruby Spa. We're not going to get a treatment here these next couple of days, unfortunately. We wish we could. We just don't have time. We've actually never gotten one before. They're a little bit out of our price range. Hopefully someday it's on the bucket list. After you enjoy the spa though, you can head to the soaking pool, and that we're definitely gonna do later. Okay, in the past, when we stayed at Edgefield, we've always stayed in the main building. This time, we're lucky enough to stay in the administrator's house. We're on the first level, which is like half daylight basement, half first floor. And it's just right over here. We can see it from the balcony of the main building. It's super cute, and we have a vaulted ceiling and 2 chandeliers in our room. We'll show you that in a bit. But first we wanted to talk more about the history of this amazing place. So Edgefield was originally a poor farm during the Depression. A lot of people lived here and also worked here, and they had a farm to help feed the people that stayed here. So everybody had different jobs on the property. He's trying to get in the box again. Don't get my salmon. So the administrator's house, when it was a poor farm, was where the administrator lived, obviously, and some of the staff. The red shed was an incinerator building. The power station, it's in the name, is where the power came from for the property. Also, their fire station was a part of that building. This is Jerry's Ice House. Oh yeah, and that's what it used to be, was the old ice house where they kept ice to use to store food and stuff at the poor farm years and years ago. So every building had a purpose that's different from what it is today, other than the hotel rooms, which were where people lived. This is room 1 of 3. It's a cute little office space. It has a nice desk and a chair that we've moved into the other room if you want to sit and work. Every room includes some info about the property. Also, they always leave you glasses. So one of the cool things we love about McMenamins, and especially Edgefield, is that you can walk around the entire property and bring your drink with you. Even though it's glass, the only thing is that you can't bring it to the soaking pool. That is a plastic only area, which totally makes sense, but otherwise you're free to just roam with drinks. It has this cute little mirror here, which is nice when you get dressed. You make sure that you look cute before going out. This is my robe hanging up. We went to the soaking pool last night. Aren't they like infused, like it's a mix of tea?
It's a tea. There are some cocktails that have different teas in them.
Okay. That's all.
That is all.
Hibiscus ginger. Over here we have some toiletries. They also leave us some very cute McMenamins soaps, and then our washcloths in these cute baskets. We're only here 2 nights, so we're not going to bother unpacking, but super cute. Really adds to the charm. Real quickly, I'm wearing my cute little orca slippers. Another thing that we love about McMenamins is that you just go around like you live here. So you bring your slippers, you wear your robes, you really just settle in. So I sure did. I brought my cute guys. All right, let me take you in now to the bathroom. So a really unique thing is that we have our own private bathroom and shower. Some of the king rooms have their own private sink, but not a toilet and not a shower. And they also have the art, so each one has its own hand-painted border. This one looks like it was redone recently in 2020. It's tiny, but it has everything we need. A really cute thing is this little window where we can see out. On the back side of this building is the glass blowing, I believe, so we can see over a little bit into that courtyard. Very cool. For now, let's go check out the bedroom. This room opens up. vaulted ceiling, chandeliers, a very comfy. Now this is a queen size bed. They have lots of blankets to keep you warm. We have a nice view of the courtyard. It's a private courtyard for this building. People can come in here, but it's not on the way to anything. It just feels like we have our own little oasis. And then on the other side, we have this lounge area and a closet. So most of the rooms have armoires, so this is huge. This nice lounger chair. And then we brought down the chair from the desk so that we could sit here together. Last night, Stephen had a setup so we could watch some shows on the laptop for a little bit after enjoying the soaking pool, which was really nice. One thing that McMenamins has that's a little bit unique from a lot of other hotels is you'll notice there's no TV. There's no phone in the room. If you want to unplug, the McMenamins properties are perfect. They do it naturally for you. There is a phone up in the main shared area by the kitchen in case you want to call the front desk, but otherwise it's peaceful, it's quiet, you can just relax and enjoy and really just have time and space for yourself. When your husband says, build a rager. So as I mentioned when we were first coming in, this is the Angelica room, and every room tells you a little something either about the person that stayed here or about the building itself. Is the flower that is the theme of the room, so you can see it in different ways in the art as we go around the room. Then it has this little saying, for protection and healing, sprinkle around the four corners of the house, add to the bath to remove spells. So there's just something cute in every room. So we're not sure 100% where the inspiration came for, but we are close to the herb garden. And also there's a garden that blooms outside this building, so maybe the administrator's office was known for having Angelica flowers. Okay, that's it for the Angelica room. Now we are headed for a distillery tasting, a winery tasting, and a brewery tasting. Not necessarily in that order, but it's gonna be great. Let's go. We're here at the golf course next to the distillery, which is where you check in for golf. It's not your usual golf course. It is a par 3 and you either play 8 or 20 holes, loosely based on the mythic links described in Michael Murphy's novel Golf in the Kingdom. Our pub courses, 12 holes and 20 holes, oh, not 8, sorry, 12 and 20, meander through the Edgefield property, winding in and around the thickets of blackberry bushes, all the while offering panoramic views of the Columbia River. So it doesn't take itself too seriously. We don't have time for that right now though, because we're headed to the Distillery Tour, which starts in 10 minutes. All right, let's go. Just finished the distillery tour. They told us how they make the whiskey. Originally they were making brandy here. So one of the distillers is a brandy distiller, but apparently it doesn't matter. You can make whiskey or brandy in them. And so now it's mostly whiskey, but they do rotate through different times of the year, different things. We learned a lot. We learned about the head, the heart, and the tail.
Front loaded on your distillation run because they're more volatile than ethanol. We call those the heads,
which are 3 different portions of the whiskey making. It was interesting because the way they do it here is so different from how they distill whiskey in Scotland that we learned about the Scotch.
I'm going to talk a little bit just about the distillery itself.
The first batch that they actually make down at the brewery, and then they bring it up here. And they only get about 10%. So 100% of liquid that they use initially, by the time they bottle it up into whiskey, it's about 10% of what it started out. So it's not a very big percentage, and it takes several years. In between, it goes and sits in a barrel over in the prison. Not public access over there at this time, but that's where they keep the kegs for about 5 years before they bring them back here to finish the distilling process. So very interesting, a lot of information. But like I said, it's 1:45, so we gotta go down to the brewery for the brewery tour. All right, let's go. Okay, so unlike the distillery tour that was only about 15 minutes, the brewery tour was almost an hour. There's a lot of information. They've made a lot of beers here for decades.
So we measure how much sugar we have in solution when we come back here. We take a reading of that every morning.
Part of what we learned during the brewery tour was the history of beer. It was really cool. We've told you about the art here. Even in the brewery, where a lot of the public don't have access, is a mural that goes around the entire border of the ceiling. It depicts the history of beer over time. So it starts out in ancient Egypt, goes to the Aztecans, then medieval alewives, which were women during the medieval times that made beer. We didn't know about that. Apparently that's where a lot of the photos and things for witches come from. The brooms and them stirring the big cauldrons comes from them stirring the big ale kegs. Very interesting. We learned so much. Every tour that we've been on has said the same thing, that they use the newer metal kegs and containers, but they also use the older wooden barrels in different parts of the process or for different flavors. There are huge vats where the wine sits or the cider sits, or in some cases the beer sits while it's finishing fermentation and getting ready to be bottled up and sold. The old brewery building used to be a slaughterhouse, so you can see the huge metal weigher arm that they put the pig on and then put it through the whole building. So it's still on the ceiling, and they actually still use parts of it for piping and things. It was interesting to hear how they repurposed it, and because it was an old slaughterhouse, it was the perfect brewery building because it already had cold rooms, freezer rooms, rooms they could use for storage, and lots of different things. So the way that they use and multi-purpose things at McMenamins, it's wonderful. Everything from the buildings down to the furniture. Earlier during the room tour, when we showed you the dressers and things and the beds, all of those things have a new life with McMenamins. Things don't have to be perfect here, not just at Edgefield, but at any of the McMenamins properties. They find a way to repurpose things and give them a new life. So there was a lot to cover, and we had to go straight to the winery tour. Behind me here is the winery. We're gonna go in and get a tasting.
We're gonna go outside here to the tank pad and we'll go over our production area.
Down in the cellar is where they barrel up and keep and age the wine. So it's really cool because they have lots of windows, we can see everything, see the process, and then the best part is tasting the wine, of course. We just finished the winery tour. It was super fast, maybe 15 minutes. It's not harvest season, so they don't have a lot they can show us because everything is closed down for winter. While you're in the winery, though, you can get a wine tasting, or what's new is a cider tasting. So, since we've had some of their wines before, we decided today to try some of the ciders. There are 3 of their classical ciders, and then right now there are 3 seasonal ciders. So because they're in between seasons, we get to try 3 different ones, which is fun. So enough talking about everything. I am really excited to taste these ciders. So this is an Earl Grey tea-infused cider. They use a lot of these different flavors in unique ways, so. Oh my goodness, I could smell the Earl Grey before I tasted it. It's really light in the cider, but it does have that aromatic, like floral Earl Grey hint to it. Delicious. I can't wait to try them all. Later, we went back to the wine cellar to enjoy some live music. This is the tea house and soaking pool. Ruby's Spa is also over there, but that's not what we're here for this morning. So we've come in the evenings, and today for the first time this trip in the morning. The tea house is closed, but we were able to check that out when we got here on Sunday night. It was pretty packed, but we got some delicious drinks. And we're going to enjoy the soaking pool. So you can come from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. We were here till almost 11 p.m. last night. All right, let's go check it out. This cute little building over here is the actual tea house where you get the drinks. Luckily yesterday, the tea house was open. It's one of my favorite locations here on the property because it offers such unique drinks. So the Red Shed has a super cute vibe, but they offer drinks you can get anywhere else on the property. Whereas the Tea House has tea-infused cocktails. You can get just a tea, non-alcoholic, or the tea-infused cocktails. And I got the hibiscus ginger. Delicious. And then through here is how you get to the soaking pool. And this is it. It's beautiful, it's lined with rocks and plants. It's only like 100 degrees, so you don't get too hot. This end is cooler and the other end by the spa is hotter. So you can kind of adjust and go to where you want depending on how warm you like it. It's drizzling right now, which is perfect Pacific Northwest morning weather. So we're gonna get in and enjoy and relax. So we're here at the soaking pool. We thought it'd be a great way to end the vlog.
We could easily spend all week here.
We spent Christmas here a few years ago and it snowed on us. It was awesome.
But we have to go to another great McMenamins property, the Grand Lodge. It's an old Masonic temple and it is a treat.
Subscribe so you can see that next week.
Until then, I'm Steven.
And I'm Elaine.
Wishing you special
And eclectic adventures. Bye.